Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to our latest webcast that we're bringing you from Travel Weekly. And I'm thrilled to be joined today by Jason Worth, who is in a new role of Vice President of International Sales at Oceania Cruises. So, welcome, Jason. How are you?
Fantastic, Lucy. It's great to meet you. Great to be here today.
Yes, and you are actually in the UK at the minute. You're visiting travel agents, and we will talk to you about that. But it was a great opportunity to get you on here and to talk to some of Travel Weekly's readers because there's lots going on at Oceania. So, and you're not new to the company, are you? It's a new role, but you've been working there a while in Asia. So, tell us a little bit about you and your new position.
Sure, I joined the company about 12 years ago, so I've had quite some interesting experiences over the years, growing with the company in many different roles in our headquarters in Miami. And then 8 years ago, we expanded internationally. So I went out to Sydney, Australia, and been there since over the last 8 years, growing the business there and working more recently on the Asia Pacific side of the business for Oceania Cruises the last 4 years or so. And then recently, just announced last month, taking over the international business for Oceania Cruises. So really excited, really happy to lead it to bigger and better growth over the next coming years.
Okay, so that means we now fall under your remit as the UK market. And obviously, before we knew Bernie, and he's stepped down. So are you now kind of running the UK, or can you just talk to us about the sort of the structure in your international sales team then?
Yeah, definitely. So I cover the international sales team. So that means markets in Latin America, Brazil, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, as well as the UK and Europe. So it's quite broad, but I've gotten used to the morning calls and the evening calls, and
I bet.
traveling around the world. So really happy to do it. I love the business. I love travel. Love our great product at Oceania Cruises. So it's quite exciting.
Okay, so and in the UK market, you won't be replacing Bernie, you will be heading it up, and you've got Louise and your team here that will be reporting straight into you. Is that right?
Yeah, we've changed our model, so it's more flat across the world, and we've got sales directors in each market that'll report to me, and then I can work with our Miami team to really get things done in a quick, efficient manner. Whether it's revenue management requests, marketing requests for each market, I can kind of liaise with them and bring those needs together under one umbrella. So I
Okay.
think we'll see a lot of quick reaction and a lot of ability to scale quickly.
Okay, sounds very good. Um, can we get you to talk a little bit about the UK market though? And then I'm obviously going to
Yep.
come on and talk about the product because that's key. But the UK market, how is it performing for you? How important is it to you in the scheme of all the different regions you look after?
Yeah, I mean, historically, the UK has been one of our top international markets. It was kind of our original international market, and so it has that legacy of growth and or strength, over the years, and things have you know gone from strength to strength. But I feel like there's a next level that we're going to hit in the next year, and Louise and team are ready and excited for it. So there's a number of initiatives that we'll be rolling out over the next months, short term, to improve the business and grow the customer base we have. And we sit in that really sweet spot in between premium and luxury, in the upper premium, kind of entry level of luxury space. So it's quite a diverse pool of customers that we can go after.
Okay. Well, do you know what? That brings me on so nicely because you've explained where you think it sits, but I think, people watching this trying to understand where Oceania sits, because especially with the introduction of Vista, which has been so well received, and it really does feel like it's taken it to another level, perhaps moving more towards that luxury. So when you're explaining to agents, and I know you're in an agency now and you're doing a tour of some of your big partners, but what do you say? Like, what are the USPs? Where, when you're trying to explain who they should be selling Oceania to, how it differs from the other products on the market, what is your message?
Yeah, so we're kind of in that sweet spot. So you have your big ship premium brands with over 2,000, 3,000 passengers, and then nothing's really included when you get on board. You're paying a lot on board. Uh, Then you've got your luxury players, which are typically all inclusive, and we're not that either. So those are typically smaller ships in the 700 or less
Yeah.
passenger space, all inclusive, including shore excursion in many cases. And the price point usually reflects that as well. So we sit right in between those two areas, and that allows us to get those guests on the premium lines that end up spending quite a bit when you factor in the
Once they've
onboard
added
and the
all the,
ticket.
yeah.
Exactly. So those guests, if they have a look at what our ticket price and inclusions are, it's really a fantastic deal, especially those that use the suites in the premium space. They'll be really happy for a better product, better food, smaller ship, better service. And then in the luxury space, it's kind of an entry point into that ultra luxury because we're not all inclusive. So that gives those guests an opportunity to try that kind of luxury experience at a better price point, easier to kind of digest, and then try that on for size. But the service level, the food is second to none.
Okay, I think that's a really good explanation, actually. I think you've done you've done very well. Now you've just recently announced this new Simply More concept. I think it replaces O-Life, but again, this is to try and simplify it and to allow people to have the elements that are important to them. So can you just talk about that? Because that's coming into play, I think, next month. So just talk to us about how that will also enhance, what you do specifically that's very unique.
Sure, we actually launched Simply More in July. And so it's been really a successful change of our branding offering. So we used to have O-Life Choice where you choose one of three options: onboard credit, shore excursion credit, or a beverage package. And guests would sometimes feel that that's complicated if you haven't sailed before, or you feel like you're missing out on something. So we said, let's simplify and add more value. So now guests will automatically get a shore excursion credit and our house beverage package, which is champagne, wine, and beer, and over
Champagne
20 different
included.
types. Champagne's included, and
Wow.
that's at lunch and dinner in our restaurants. So it really ticks the boxes of what most guests want. And then if they're interested in the premium beverage package, they can just upgrade uh, for a
Okay.
daily rate. So it's a really great value, and we've seen a lot of success. It's much easier to explain for the trade, and guests find that simple to use as well.
And if people had previous bookings, have they been able to sort of transfer over onto this new Simply More concept? Have you been able to move people for
Sure.
previous?
Usually the price, if they've bought their sailing a year ago, it may not be beneficial to make the change because they'll have
Okay.
to reprice, but it's
Yeah.
available for them if they choose.
Okay. Very good. All right. We're getting through a lot. Let's talk about then the hardware because that's key. You've obviously introduced Vista this year, which is first new ship in a long while. And how has that been received? I mean, I've heard quite a lot, particularly about the bathrooms. People love the bathrooms on this ship.
Yeah, the space is amazing. So I actually saw one of our travel advisors sampling the shower, fully clothed, of course, but she was kind of
Thanks for clarifying that, by the way.
moving around without touching the shower, and just found it so spacious, such a nice experience. And that's what we've heard, especially starting with the bathrooms, but also the public areas, the rooms themselves, and of course the food, because we've added more specialty dining options on board. So we've added our Aquamar kitchen, which is a healthier fare option for breakfast and lunch, and that's been a big hit. Things like smoothies, green juice, and fresh pressed juice, Buddha bowls. I tried a few of those when I was on Vista earlier in the year, and you can't miss because you want to indulge when you're on a cruise, but you also want to sample some healthier fare. So we added Aquamar Kitchen, and that's in tandem with our Aquamar Spa. So it's all about wellness
Yeah.
uh, when you're in those two spaces. And then we've added Ember, which is a new inventive American concept, kind of like a buzzy New York bistro. And you go in there, it is truly buzzing, and you have some beautiful food. And it's a little faster in terms of the service and experience. So if you want to go see a show, that's a great pairing to get out
Yeah.
early and see the show.
So is this does Vista represent quite a step up for you compared to your other ships, or is it just different for a different type of guest, or how are you sort of pitching it?
Yeah, so it's actually a similar tonnage to our O-class ship, so the Riviera Marina,
Yeah.
but we've actually gone with less guests, so 1,200 guests as opposed to 1,250 on the O-class, and that allows us more space in the public areas and the rooms in general. So our owner suites run the full beam of the ship, so that's something new for us. There's no interior staterooms, so that's another win for us. And then, like I said, we've added those restaurant concepts. Also in the barista bar area, which overlooks the pool, it's a really beautiful idea. So we have our barista bar, which is always a hit, with our real live Italian baristas, and they do
Right.
such a fabulous job. But we've added a bakery, so serving fresh French and Italian pastry all day. And when I was on Vista, I spent quite a lot of time there, so I can vouch for it. Beautiful, beautiful pastry, and with Allura, that maybe we'll talk a little more about Allura, but we're even adding more to that area, so it's going to be quite exciting.
Okay, but Allura is in the same, so it's the same class. It's the Allura class, so it'll be the same as Vista. Or when you say you're adding more, then are you losing something to add more in that area? But because it's not a bigger ship, is it? How are you going to change it up?
Right, same footprint in
Yeah.
terms of tonnage and passenger count, but what we've done on Allura is relocate the library into the digital center and kind of pair those together on Allura, and that opens up some space on the other side of baristas for we'll have a afternoon gelato bar, so that's for all those that love gelato.
This is
It's
a
paired
nightmare.
nicely
This is
with barista.
pastry and ice cream, and like this is not good for the waistline, Jason.
Oh yeah, well that's why you have Aquamar Kitchen
Oh
to kind
yeah,
of
because you
stuff.
can go and get a juice to neutralize it all.
Exactly, and we do have a nice gym, which I
Oh,
did
okay.
sample. I did hit the gym a little bit, but in earlier in the day, I'll have a creperie and waffles, and then afternoon gelato. So that's a great new idea, really indulgent. But imagine yourself in the Mediterranean. Great way to have some gelato on the deck.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that agent feedback that we've heard is that it's so lovely, Vista, that they're now kind of almost finding it hard to differentiate between Oceania and region. But given what you've said before, you're saying there's still a distinction because of the price point and the inclusions, I guess.
Definitely, definitely, and their ships are smaller, so that 750 passenger or less space. Ours are 1,200, so that's a difference
Yeah.
as well. But we had about 1,000 advisors from the UK visit our ships this summer, so the majority were on Vista, so they really had a chance to see it up close and personal. We had, I believe, 180 just for the two Vista launch events. So we had a 3-day sailing and then a christening sailing.
Yeah.
And so 180 just from the UK on the trade side. So they really got to see it up close for multiple days. And then we had ship visits all
Yes.
over the UK,
Did.
led by Louise and team here locally. And they did a fabulous job of getting
I know she
so
was
many
trying
people
to
on.
get me to she was trying to get me to leave my family holiday to come to one, and I just couldn't. But she nearly tempted me, and I'm sorry I didn't see her because I do understand she's absolutely beautiful. When you do those events, Jason, you get that many advisors on, and they get to sail or come to the christening or do even the day visits. Does it translate into business? Do you track it, and do you see that you then get more bookings after that because people have experienced the product?
Definitely. So, what ideally we'd love to get everyone to sail because then you get the full experience. But of course, we're working to sell those staterooms, so there's never enough space. But we do try when we can for either famille trips or things like the christening or the shakedown cruise. That's a great way to get people on, and they do translate quite well. So we do see a big uptick in bookings from those that have attended. And then second to that is the more realistic option of getting as many people as possible to visit the ships when they're in port locally. And we what we do is bring them on board, have a beautiful presentation of the product and the promotions that we have ongoing, and then we pair that with a ship tour. Louise likes to start with the suites beforehand, and get everybody excited. They see what the penthouse, the owner suite looks like, and it really translates into kind of a buzz from the team. And then have that presentation in our Horizons or the lounge. And then what we do is take everyone to lunch in the grand dining room, and we have a special menu just for our visitors, and just a beautiful experience. And they really get, the most out of that,
Yeah,
barring
I have been
some.
on day visits before, and the food has been magnificent. So, and frankly, if you just fill us with pastries and crepes and gelato, I think that will go down well.
Exactly.
So you mentioned, Jason, that you want to take sales in the UK to the next level. How important are your trade partners in that strategy?
Well, they're the whole strategy. So basically, the team here works closely with the trade, and that's their job really, is just to network, be with the trade, work with the trade, come up with ideas in tandem with their partners, and we can roll it out pretty quickly. We do have, our budget planning season now, so we can work with our partners to come up with a full year plan for next year. And we're doing that now, and we're seeing a lot of interest, a lot of excitement building for things that we want to do next year. And really, it's all about the trade. So our focus is solely on growing that channel. But the key is to grow more partners. So we want more people to understand our product, to see the product, to know what it is, get the name out there. So we'll be increasing our marketing, overall budget in terms of consumer spending and print and all types of media, but also really working with the trade on what they want to do, and how we can work with them on that.
And will you be increasing your budget for trade support, and whether it's joint marketing or events or
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the strategy. So it's not just a money thing, but it's also support in terms of the team. So we're looking to grow that space as well.
So you're gonna, sorry, when you say grow that space, grow the team that are on the road supporting agents, you mean?
Yeah, both in the office and on the road.
Brilliant. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that they will love hearing that, our readers, because they need the support and the training and the merchandise, all the collateral they need to obviously help sell your product. So that will be fantastic. Before I let you go, then let's just talk about Allura. I know you've only just had Vista, and Allura's a few, well, 2025. It's probably closer than we think. But when does she go on sale?
So Allura just went on sale on Wednesday, and we had a fantastic sale day, especially in the UK. So we
Oh,
were
you
really
did?
happy to see
Okay,
that.
cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Vista was a huge success back when it went on sale, because it was our first new ship in a while. Allura, coming on the heels of what Vista's done with its christening, was also a success, and we're looking forward to continuing that over the coming weeks and months. So the first sailing is in June of 2025,
Okay.
and that is sailing in the Mediterranean. So we're really excited for that first Mediterranean season on Allura. And like I said, it has a few new interesting tweaks that we made with that gelato bar and creperie. But there'll be more to come, news on Allura, and as that kind of gets closer to launch. But we're really
Okay.
looking forward to that inaugural season for Allura.
And what are the Brits, when you say you had a good day, or a couple of days in the British market? What are they booking that that initial, the first maiden med season, or are they booking further out? Are they booking in groups? Are they booking the suites first? What trends are you seeing from the UK market in
Yeah,
respect?
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely on the med that's most popular. So basically, Allura will start its season in the med,
Yeah.
sailing from Athens for the first sailing in June 8th. And basically, it'll move around. There's even an itinerary that goes through Israel and Egypt. So I have my eye on that one. I'll put in some leave for that. And then basically, it'll spend that whole summer in the med, and then kind of reposition and head over to New York, and then make its way down to Miami, where it'll have some Caribbean sailings at the end of 2025. So basically, there's 6 months or so of sailings on sale now for Allura, and then we'll launch the rest of that 2025 summer season in October, early October.
Yeah.
So everyone should keep an eye on that. They'll definitely be getting all the details in the coming week or so.
Okay. And general pricing and everything is holding up well. You're fully recovered, are we now from the pandemic? Is everything sort of feels back to normal?
Yeah, definitely. And we put in place a new terms and conditions on deposits. So we made our deposits non-refundable from September 1st. And we've seen a lot of actual praise for that from the trade because it's actually helping them to keep the business, So we're helping each other, and that's been really well received.
Okay, yeah, nothing, it's very hard. Extra work. They've already done lots of the pandemic, lots of extra work. So I guess they don't want to deal with more cancellations. So that's a great move. All right. And how often are we going to see you, Jason? When will you be, how often do you plan to come to the UK in your new role?
Well, I was already here in August, and now September.
Oh,
I'll be
wow.
back. I'll be
Monthly.
back in early December, and then yeah, a few times next year. So looking forward to spending as much time as necessary. I love the UK. So if you out there have any ideas or you want me somewhere, just let me know. Let Louise know, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay, well, that's really great to hear. It's so good of you to come on and just say hi to everyone so that we can see your face and hear about your plans. It's great to hear that you've got big ambitions for the UK, and you do have a fantastic team there with Louise, who I'm sure will help execute that with the support of our readers, our travel agents. So thank you for your time, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.